Happy Thanksgiving! Today we're going to play a fun game that is probably going to make everyone really hungry. I'm going to show you a close-up image of something you might see on a Thanksgiving dinner table. As soon as you think you know what it is, shout out your answer. Easy enough, right? Alright, let's begin. What do you think this first image is? Time's up. What is it? If you said stuffing, you're right. I don't know about you, but after my third helping of stuffing, I'm pretty much stuffed. Here's the next one. What do you think this might be? Time's up. What is it? If you said turkey, you're right. I call a drumstick. Okay, what do you think this is? Time's up. What is it? If you said sweet potatoes, you're right. Sweet job. Now, what do you think this might be? Time's up. What is it? If you said green beans, you're right. It would have been really sad to miss out on this one. Study the next one carefully. Shout it out if you know it. Time's up. What is it? If you said tofurkey, you're right. Great job. Bonus points if you can shout out what a tofurkey is. That's right, a turkey made of tofu. Okay, what do you think we're looking at here? Time's up. What is it? If you said pumpkin pie, you're correct. Great job. I'll take mine with whipped cream. I wonder what this could be. Time's up. What is it? If you said mashed potatoes, you're right. Now someone please pass the gravy. Let's try another. What do you think we're looking at here? Time's up. What is it? If you said carrots, you're correct. If you missed that one, I would say you must not care at all. All right, this is our last one. Can you figure out what it is? Time's up. What is it? If you said corn, you're right. Great job. Are you tired of these corny jokes yet? Well, I'm definitely thankful that we got to play this game together. Happy Thanksgiving, friends!
The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still.
Growing up, one of my favorite things to do was to go to the movies or to watch a film at home. I used to love the action movies because of all of the fighting and all of the action. It's pretty cool to see these guys face off against one another in these movies and to see how good always overcame evil. That's kind of how most movies work, right? But when you saw those movies, a lot of people, they fight with their fists, or maybe they fight with guns in war. But when God fights, God doesn't often need to use those things. You see, God fights for us. The Bible tells us that God is a warrior who fights for us. And in the Big God story today, while God's people were stuck in slavery in Egypt, the Bible says that they cried out to God and they asked for his help. And do you think God just left them there? No. God heard their cry and he answered their prayers, and God went fighting for them. He just didn't fight in the way that we might think to fight. God sent Moses, and Moses went to Egypt, and Moses went to meet with Pharaoh and told Pharaoh that God was going to cause him to release his people. Pharaoh, though, was angry. He didn't want to release God's people. Pharaoh liked them being slaves and helping him out in Egypt. And so God promised that he was going to have to make that right. He was going to have to do something. He was going to have to fight for his people. The Bible tells us that God was on the side of Moses, and God sent plagues upon Egypt. And with each plague that he sent, he tried to get Pharaoh to change his mind. The first plague was that they saw the sea, all the water turned to blood. Yeah. Another plague that God sent was God sent frogs everywhere. Can you imagine how crazy that would have been? How frustrating that would have been? The next thing is he sent little gnats, like little flies, little gnats. And they were really, really, really horrible. Then he sent little flies, and then he sent another one, a plague that was going to ruin the livestock, that was going to kill all of their livestock. Every time God sent a plague, Moses went back to Pharaoh and said, Pharaoh, God just wants you to let his people go. And what did Pharaoh say? No, God's people cannot go. And so God sent more plagues. He sent plague of boils, festering boils all over their skin. And these were plagues that affected the Egyptians and not God's people. He sent a plague of hail, big chunky hail, a plague of locusts. Ugh. We see one of the plagues, he sends a plague of darkness. And all of these plagues, Pharaoh keeps saying no to God. But God's plan was that he was fighting for his people. God is a warrior. God fights for his people. He puts his people first. And so we see the final plague, the plague that affects the firstborn son of every Egyptian. The firstborn son of every Egyptian household would die because Pharaoh would refuse to follow God's command. After that final plague, Pharaoh finally changed his mind. God had freed his people, and they would leave and head out to the promised land. Wasn't easy, but God fought for his people. God is a warrior. And when we turn to God, when we call out to his help, just like the Israelites did in Egypt, he will hear our prayer, he will respond, and he will fight for us.
In the chaos, when I'm darkness into your light. My heart surrenders to your design. You gave me purpose, so I give my life. I'm giving you all of me. Out of the darkness and into your light. My heart surrenders to your design. You gave me purpose, so I give my life. I'm giving you all of me. Forever I will lift my voice. Forever you will be my choice. Forever I will stand for you. I'm giving you all of me. I'm giving you all of me. Forever I will lift my voice. Forever you will be my choice. Forever I will stand for you. I'm giving you all of me. I'm giving you all of me.
The Lord will fight for you. You need only to be still.